The latest update to Automobilista 2 just dropped, and with that update we have a new class of car, specifically the Formula USA Gen 1. So in this video I'm going to jump into the Reynard 95i Ford Cosworth, pone some laps around with the AI, give a first impressions of this mental 90s Formula vehicle, whilst also talking a bit about the current update and what's changed in Automobilista 2 from the last version. Fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a wild ride, probably with a few cars in the Armco. We'll see. If you enjoy our content and want to support the channel, make sure to use the Gamer Muscle Fanatec affiliate link located under the video when buying fancy pants sim racing equipment from the Fanatec store. So we're at the track here, and of course I have set it so that the sun is just rising. We've got the golden hour because that's where things look the best in simulators and in real life. Now I've started myself at the back of the grid here to make sure that it's exciting for you guys watching. Hopefully we'll have lots of overtakes, and we are pretty much ready with the car. I'm not really going to change anything here. We've got the brake pressure turned to 90% so it doesn't lock up. Fuel's on 8 laps. We're just doing a super sprint race here. Everything else is pretty much on defaults as far as you go, so this will also be a test of how good are the default setups in Automobilista 2. Let's get driving from the back. Oh, now there's a little bit of fog on the track surface. Looks absolutely incredible. Now I am playing on 355 OLED screens. Just a budget sim rig, of course. If you want to know more about our screens, check out our video on them. Just type in OLED gaming, ultimate gaming sim racing setup, and it should come up. But less about the screens, more about the driving. And I have to say, straight away, we've just been able to rocket off the start with nothing catching us off guard or surprising us about this vehicle. I've got the AI on 96%, which seems to be about right. They're driving pretty quick. Even with this being at the back and even with the trail, the AI are not trundling. I'm actually going to have to concentrate to get overtakes here and beat these guys. Yeah, this car actually seems super stable straight away. I'm being a bit ginger on the throttle pedal to see what we can get away with before the rear actually potentially flies out and murders us. These types of cars which have these humongous slick tyres tend to have monster grip and then monster no grip. As I dart to the inside. Whoa, okay, we clipped an AI there. It's alright though, rejoin, perfectly safe. They're not human. It's fine, you can abuse them. Nice. So the AI braking a little bit too early for that corner, not carrying the speed through, but I take advantage of it. Look at the sun and the God rays. It's like a visitation from Lord Jesus himself. Who needs to go to church? You could just boot up Automobilista 2. Oh, okay. So, yeah, so far, this car's been super pliable, super forgiving. I assume that we have tyre warmers, like the tyres are warm from the get-go as well. Often with these types of vehicles, if a simulator gets them wrong, oh, so aggressive on my overtakes here. If the simulator gets them wrong, they will just kill you straight away, and there's no give to them. This has actually got quite a bit of ply. There you go. I'm giving it a bit more extra throttle through that corner, and I'm actually balancing the throttle so that I'm holding the back end out without spinning it. You know, and I can feel through the force feedback how much to do, and I can see visually how much crab walk we're achieving. And we actually have fantastic control over this. A little bit of understeer there. You do have to get on the brakes with this car to turn it in and avoid that understeer. I've actually just got the brake bars on the default settings. I have to say, I think Reynard have done a cracking job with the default on this car. It's a little bit on the understeery side on the brake. I think I'll move the brake bars a bit further back. But it's very neutrally set up. Of course, we're not doing super duper hot laps. Whoa! Okay, there's an example of the brake bars being a bit too far back, maybe. So you do have a bit of that snap still there, which is inherent with a lot of the cars in Automobilista 2. But as you can see, we were able to counter steer and catch it. And I think part of the negating of that kind of snap is to make sure that you're braking in a straight line before turning and not trail braking too hard. I definitely have a habit of trail braking far too hard. There we go. Tidier lines each lap. Really nice. Really nice. And I will say, the cockpit sound of this car, the engine note, is a little bit grating. You probably noticed it. Whoa, there's... Oh. Always getting aggressive. Traffic cones everywhere. The cockpit sound of this car is not too great. I'll say I'm docking points for that. I quite like the handling of this. It is very forgiving and pliable, even when you're sliding quite a lot. But that engine sound makes it sound a bit like an electric vehicle, which I think removes a little bit of the excitement from it. Come on, Reezy, you can do better with the sounds. It's a power drill, a very nice handling power drill. So we'll put that to one side. Oh, going into first gear, car suddenly twitches in a bit. Oh, look at the reflections off the car in front. What I do love about AMS2 though is it has to be like the best running driving simulator. Since we forced it to run at the exact right frame rate to the 1,000th of a second to our monitors, along with G-Sync, AMS2 is like silky glass smooth. It's bonkers, especially with all the AI and all the details and everything else going on. It's absolutely mind-blowing how crisp and smooth this runs, and the frame timing. I think it is actually the best simulator in that regard out of any driving game I play, for raw frame timing combined with also fantastic graphical fidelity. Right, I was really slow on the throttle there. This AI is making a move on the right in front of us. Let's try and outbrake him again. Oh! Round here on the right. This is easier to drive than a lot of the cars in iRacing, I have to say, in a good way. We've been driving a lot of the F3 car around this track, and in iRacing the F3 car is kind of limited in terms of how much you can correct it, how much you can play with it, and how many lines are conducive to a good lap time. Obviously with any car there's probably only going to be really one absolute line. That's probably a philosophical debate there, but there's probably only going to be one like proper line that's the laser beam super stonk line. But normally you can take multiple lines that will get you a really good lap time at the expense of maybe some tyre wear and driving a little bit reckless. And yeah, this you can already feel with this car the degree of sort of controllable slip it has. It's still quite a tight car, but that gives you that ability to actually push it through the corner and manipulate it a bit and play with the car a bit, which is really lacking specifically from iRacing. AC is another fantastic simulator, if not one of the best simulators for having that play at the limit, which I personally find really fun. But this is actually really quite nice. I would say previously a lot of the Formula cars in Automobilista 2 were a little bit abrupt and had a lack of sort of innate stability. They kind of feel like they wanted to trip over themselves. This actually feels way more polished in terms of its dynamics. This feels like a pretty solid car from this. That's what happens if you don't brake enough. Pretty solid car from this quick 5 laps. Now, obviously, you know, when it comes to actually reviewing a car properly, you're going to need to put at least a few hours into it. You're going to need to see what it's like with the different tyres, different weather, different stage in the race, different tyre wear, you know, until you find if there's actually monster issues with it. But from a jump in and drive perspective, other than the audio, this is actually really quite great. Okay, we need some kind of shift protection on this, because what's happening there is I'm downshifting too soon and that's popping the rear out, which is exciting but suboptimal. Oh, look at the size of the wheels. Proper tyres, guys. We're getting back there with modern Formula 1. The AI actually doing a good job of like sort of bunching up to each other a little bit, making a few moves. Not the most... Oh! Oi! He just shuffled out on me there. It's like racing on a public server, this. He was angry about my previous move. Bloody hell. That's Reza AI, because I said the audio of this car is not good. How dare you try and overtake me after slagging off the audio, punt. Whoa. Look at that. Can we get around here? A little bit of a slide, a little bit of a dab with the brake there. I mean, I honestly have to say, I'm really quite impressed. I'm really quite impressed how generally stable this car is. We need to, like, try driving it a bit worse. Let's restart the race here. Let's restart this session. Let's drive a bit more attack here. Maybe there's some stuff we can do on the setup. I think we're all good, though. I mean, I could have done with a bit more turning mid-corner. And a bit more turning on a brake, but I don't want that snap from if we lock up on the brake from trail braking too much. So I think I could just... This setup's actually fine, you know. It's quite an active setup, mostly neutral. Let's do this, but like, let's absolutely pwn it. This is the danger of Automobilista 2, guys. You're like, oh, load it up. Look at the weather. Look at the graphics. Look at that car. Oh, hang on. I'll just do another race. Just do another race. Just do another race. Just do another race. Whoa. Here we go. Now... It's also worth saying, I think, obviously a lot of people have been playing Gran Turismo 7 recently. I've been playing a lot of it. And it's really worth saying, Gran Turismo 7 is getting a lot of, you know, people are like, oh, it's got really great handling, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people have been historically sort of slagging off Automobilista 2 handling. I mean, I wouldn't say I slagged it off, but I'd say, you know, comparing it to other simulators, aspects of it were definitely a bit all over the place. I think gradually... It's got to a point where a lot more of the content has been balanced out better and a bit smoothed out, and that's also what's happened in this update. A lot more of the content has again received that love and attention that's required when you've got this many cars in a sim and this much stuff going on. It's required that you have to polish a lot of it, you know. And I actually kind of wish that they released the sim with fewer cars that were polished rather than all over the place. Now this car's released in what I would consider to be quite a good state. Anyway, comparing this, though, to, like, Gran Turismo 7, I mean, this is just on another, absolutely on another level to Gran Turismo 7. And I'm not being too harsh on Gran Turismo 7, because I do enjoy it. I really like the single player of it. I like how it's on the console. It's much cheaper to get into. You can jump in, you can drive. The missions and stuff are great fun. Graphics as well at times are absolutely awesome in Gran Turismo 7. But the thing here is... The point I'm getting to is that this is just on another level. This is just absolutely on another level, just as the other PC sims are. But crucially, I could really see this actually coming out on console at a later date, and potentially this would be like effectively do what Project Cars 2 did. But I think this has better handling now than Project Cars 2 ever did. You get this on console, you get something where someone can go from Gran Turismo 7 that has all the structure and those stuff that hooks you into it and gets you into the spirit of sim racing, like learning track layouts, learning track lines, the general nature of handling, the basics of handling. But then this allows you to actually really feel the vehicles a lot better. Like the force feedback is just so much more deep in this compared to Gran Turismo 7. The handling of the cars at the limit in this is just... Whoa! On another see how see the handling there. The handling on the limit is just on another level. Commentator's curse compared to GT7. So I really hope this actually does come out on console eventually. But oh, come on! Let's try and overtake without killing. Unfortunately, whoa! Okay, I deserve that. Oh, this looks absolutely stunning. Oh, where's he going? Back on the left. Squeezing me, nice one. Whoa! 2 cars through there. He expected me to yield, I never yield. This is fantastic. This is just with AI, guys. 96%. Whoa! So good! Can't believe the AI's actually pushing me through there. Normally AI just backs off. They're like, oh, you're in front of me, mate. You have it. I don't want to damage the car. Oh, he's all over my exhaust. Oh, they've both gone through. I'm being schooled here. Oh man, this is really surprisingly good for AI racing. I'm not the biggest fan of AI racing. Oh, now what is catching me out with this car, I will say, is the braking is catching me out a bit, but I think that's just I need more practice with this specific car. It's hard to absolutely nail brake points with a Formula car straight off the bat without a few practice laps, you know. But I think if I nail that, if I got that dialed in, like no more my actual brake points are, brake more aggressively in a straight line so that we're actually hitting the corner speeds properly. That's the only thing that's really throwing me off with this vehicle. Everything else has been communicated very clearly through the force feedback, and the car has enough pliers, I say, to allow me to make mistakes and pull it back at the cost of lap time, but not at the cost of spinning off the track in a stupid way, which is a problem that many driving games and driving sims have. This guy's well aggressive. There we go. We got past it. Man, I think if you're a fan of Automobilista 2 and you've been enjoying the content so far, you're gonna absolutely love these. And if you're someone that's you know, you like just solid, roundly handling solid cars, I think this is a pretty good job on this. I think even a more sceptical AMS2 player would probably quite enjoy this car. They've also, with the update, I think a lot of the changes are like train changes, but I think they've also tweaked some aspects of the force feedback out of the box. You no longer, since the previous update, you no longer have to fiddle around with the force feedback. I just use their basic FFB Plus, or what, you know, the one that's built in the game, and that's more than good enough with a direct drive wheel to really feel what's going on. Oh. Welcome, I'm Sir Overdrive. Man, we're gonna have to do an online stream session with this, guys. You need to follow us on Twitch if you want to join us for a race with this. Oh, that corner's getting me out there, and then I'm locking. Whoa. Now, these types of Formula vehicles are demanding of quite a good degree of concentration. I think for me, what I would do, I think for a lot of people that are moderately quick, not super fast, like I'm no alien, I think I'd need to put the AI about 4 points, like 98 maybe like 97, and then with a bit of practice and concentration then I'd probably be getting the AI at my pace. But putting the AI, I find, in games like this on a lower setting and starting further back and sort of Gran Turismo in it through the field is actually a really fun way of racing against AI in these types of games. Turn the damage off as well, or reduce it so it's not frustrating. It's a really fun way of just driving different content and having a laugh. You might have also noticed let's go for the dive here. Oh, right, oh, okay. I get it, okay. Oh, I've installed it. Okay, right. I take back all the positivity. I was late on my braking there, and then the car on the inside knocked me, and then we went over that. The bump, the big crest, and that rotated us. Well, you know, no better way to end a 90s Formula car video. So, yeah. All in all, genuinely, this seems like a really good fun car to play. We're going to have to live stream it and race with subscribers and really put it through through the test. But the update, a great continuation to AMS2, more improvement, more polish. That's what we like to see. There's not much more to say, really. I'm going to be jumping into some other cars soon and giving them a bit of a blast. But sound, they just need to improve the sound on this car. That's it, really. Just improve the sound and it's all good. But yeah, thanks for watching this little jump in on the update. Make sure you click the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Twitch and everything else, and Twitter. Oh dear, didn't shut up about promotion. But until the next one, guys, thank you very much for watching. Happy tea drinking, and goodbye.